right. Thank you so much for coming up. Thank you so much for coming all the way from San Diego.
Thank you.
And teaching your super seminar, sold out, women's only super seminar.
Yes, that's right.
Amazing technique, amazing training after. It was a party downstairs.
It was. There was a DJ. I think that was the first time I've been to a seminar and there was like a
DJ?
A whole DJ. Yeah, that was sick.
Nice, nice. I was reading a little bit on your background, and you didn't train when you were growing up, like from a few years, right?
Yeah. I started when I was 4, but I like to think of it more like I was just there. My dad started the gym, but like to have a student, start getting students, you need to have someone there. So I like to think of it like I was more there for marketing reasons because, well, my dad needed people and I was the only kid there for now. So then he put me on the map, put a gi on, and that's kind of how like the kids program started to grow.
Okay.
But I have zero knowledge of what happened. I don't remember anything from that moment.
Do you have any memories, like good memories?
Not, I swear, like I don't have any memories training when I was like 4 to 8. Because when I was 8, that's when I decided to stop. I remember that. It was more because people would come up to me, and then there was that pressure of like, oh, are you going to be the next Andre Galvao, you know? And for a kid, I don't know if you guys think of it as a lot of pressure, but for me it was. And that's the reason why I stopped. But my parents always made me do some sort of physical education. Like I was, okay, you can stop jiu-jitsu, but you're not allowed to stop doing some sort of activity that will make you sweat. So I tried dancing, I tried tennis, I tried gymnastics. I literally did everything. And then when I was 12, I decided to go back. I wanted to spend time with my family.
You decided?
I decided to go back. Yeah, my dad kind of like gave me a little pep talk, and I miss like hanging out with my dad. And I was honestly, I was a little jealous because he would always teach the kids class. And then like, I shared a piece of my dad with like all these kids, and I wanted that too. And then I came back, and I've never stopped.
That's awesome. You know, it's interesting because my daughter does wrestling, and they make you do these certifications, and they say they have like a lot of statistics and numbers, right?
Yeah.
For example, like before 12 years old, like they say to like diversify your kid, like have them do different activities, right? So they don't become too specialized too early. And then also, of course, burnout and stuff like that.
Right, yeah. That's the big thing.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I grew up with a big kids class group, right? Professor Josh Hinger was my professor, and he did an amazing job, an incredible job growing these students into like mini monsters. We would take over kids' pants. That was like our thing. And it was huge. We had like kids from as light as a feather to basically as big as a boulder, you know?
All ages together?
Yeah, we were literally unstoppable. But as you grow on, kids start evolving new things. And I do feel like a lot of the kids were more unenjoying jiu-jitsu because of the parents.
Unenjoying. Yeah,
it was just like, I don't know. There's something about like the culture sometimes in parenting in jiu-jitsu. It's just different. I don't know how to exactly explain it. And the kids just slowly started to not come as much, and little by little they kind of disappeared. And a few went to different sports. Some they don't do anything now. So I do think there was some sort of burnout there. I do think so, because at least at our gym there's like kids who do judo, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, and they do a bunch of things, and they're always like they're never not working, you know?
They're doing something.
Yeah, so I think that kind of takes away the fun at one point.
Yeah, like jiu-jitsu, I was at the jiu-jitsu con, and there was like, you know, kids from like all over the world that came. And it was intense. Like,
it was.
Like, you know, we're at the Masters Worlds, and it was great. You know, like the energy was like positive energy. But then we went over to the Jiu-Jitsu Con, and little guys, and it was great too. But man, some of the parents, it was like so heavy.
Yeah.
And it was like, like.
I
didn't feel good, you know?
And
they're so little to win. And
yeah, there's like 6-year-olds that like are celebrating as if they won like the biggest world title. Yeah. Exactly.
The whole thing.
It's crazy. Yeah. My parents were never like that. They always my life is a little different because they're my parents, but they're also my professors.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a balance that I had to have. But they never got involved with me like winning or losing. I was never like.
Did you ever compete when you were a kid?
Only when I was 12.
12.
Yeah.
Okay, that was your first tournament.
Yeah, it was kids' pans. I lost my finals. by like an advantage. And I cried so much. I didn't want to wear my second place medal. And I think that's the reason why I didn't stop. I've been here because of that loss, and I hated the sense of losing, and I just did everything to get better, and here I am.
Why do you think, you got the second place? Why do you think it drove you to, go the way you did?
Yeah, I think that if I got first place, I think I would have grown a little bit of an ego. I'm pretty sure. I think the second place did such a big part in a role for me in jiu-jitsu that like I have to really work for what I want. And I'm already super competitive. I hate losing in anything. It doesn't have to be jiu-jitsu. It can be like Monopoly, and I'll hate losing. And I will always find a way to get better. So I think that loss built character in my jiu-jitsu as well.
Built character. Yeah, that's it. Like jiu-jitsu, like your dad, your mom.
Yeah.
Like choosing that, like this is all I'm going to do for the rest of my life. Do you ever think about that? Like, do you ever think, which way am I going to go? Like all that pressure when you were a kid, and then now, you're 19, right?
Yeah.
19, and so like, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life.
Right.
Like, what are your thoughts on?
Yeah, I think that I was bound to do jiu-jitsu whether I liked it or not. Not in a competitive way,
right.
but just in life.
Yeah.
Because ever since I was born, basically, I haven't missed one IBJJF Worlds ever. I've always been there, especially because my dad's been competing. And I've just been born with like being around cameras all the time, especially like from the age of 8 to 12 is when my dad was starting to do like get really well known in ADCC, and like that's where he became like the GOAT of jiu-jitsu. So I was always around jiu-jitsu, always like seeing how they would eat, how they would sleep, how they would lift, train when they were tired. So I feel like I grew up around it. So there was no way I was like gonna do something else, Maybe I wouldn't be competing like in another life. Maybe I wouldn't be a competitor, but I think I'd still be like someone who worked for Autos, helped with marketing or front desk stuff.
Put that same energy into something else.
Yeah. I really think I'd always be doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, the CGI between the corners is just a random thought. Like,
Yeah.
I remember, like, the first round, we were waiting, like, all, like, the night because the matches were kind of like, there was no result, And it's like, now we're going to wait. I want to wait till the end. I want to see your matches,
Right.
And then you went out there, and I think it was between the first and the second round. Was it the first round? It was one match, right, that first day? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, and then you came out, like, shuffling your shoulders, and it was a different person.
Yeah.
What did he tell you between those rounds?
It was rough. I think that CGI, it was a bit more intense for me, more because I wasn't expecting to be called as the fourth person of the bracket. Right, we had 3 very high-level competitors, and I was just doing gi, basically.
Right.
So I was not expecting an invitation whatsoever. When they did ask, it was really hard to shift that mindset to like, now you got to focus on no-gi. That was really hard. And it was just, I was having like, it was really hard mentally, honestly, because I've never done a camp that was no-gi that intense, and I wasn't enjoying it because that first 3 weeks of camp, I was just getting my butt beat all the time in training, because between gi and no-gi, it's 2 different sports. It's so different. You can't tell me it's the same because it's completely different. And it was so hard. And then...
How is it different?
It's different because I like to think of it as 2 different sports, right? There's the same mechanics, like you would call like wrestling the same as jiu-jitsu, but it's different, right? I think that it's like no-gi is so much more movement. You have to move so much more. And you have to work for position so much more than you would in the gi, right? I think it's so hard to stall in no-gi, right? And there's always something happening. So, one, your technique has to be in check, because let's say you pass the guard, that might be the only time you ever pass the guard the whole match, You have to have, like, infinite gas tank.
Yeah.
Because it's nonstop movement.
Different shape, right?
Yeah, and you have to have a good squeeze, right? In no-gi, or in the gi, we don't really think about that stuff, Usually we can just hold on to the person, and usually they tire out, right? So it was different. But as the camp went on, as we got towards the tournament, my dad was like, don't forget that a happy fighter is a dangerous fighter.
Happy fighter is a dangerous fighter.
Yeah, that's my mom's motto, and I took it for
good.
myself. Yeah, I have it as my bio for Instagram. I like to remind myself that all the time.
That's a good mantra.
Yeah, and that's
if you're having fun.
Exactly.
You're flowing.
Exactly. So that was the goal when I was fighting. Of course, like the first day I was on cloud 9, right? I won after beating someone incredibly hard. Incredibly hard. I know I was the underdog for that match for sure. A lot of people came up to me. They were like, "Wow, I'm so surprised you won." Didn't know how to take it exactly. I was like, "What do you mean?" But it was cool, and I think that having my dad there made me feel a whole lot better. I don't think I can imagine anyone in my corner other than him or my mom. Honestly, they're the people who know me best.
They were like on both sides, right?
Yeah,
Your dad is on one side
exactly,
and your mom. I
exactly.
took notice to that.
My mom was like in that like VIP section, and she was the loudest one there.
Yeah.
She was the loudest one there. Yeah, so it was nice. I was able to hear on both sides. But honestly, they're my biggest fans. They want me to win. My dad is just competitive as me, so even when he sees me lose, he feels like he lost as well. After I lost, it was okay. I didn't feel like anything changed at all, because deep inside, I know that I'm a champion.
Yeah.
I know what it takes to be a champion. Like, just because I lost, that doesn't mean I got disvalued in any way.
Not at all.
So I think that it opened up more opportunities, actually. I feel like after CGI, so much has happened in the span of like 4 months. So I'm really grateful for everything that's happened, for the loss as well. And I think that after that loss, something like switched in my mind. And I think that now I'm going to be somewhat unstoppable in how I like to think of it. Because now that I notice like how hard it is no-gi, and I was able to be on one of the biggest platforms in no-gi and actually like do pretty good, I know how much harder I have to work for it, and I will do everything it takes to try to be unstoppable now. So I'm trying to be a hybrid in both right now.
Mm-hmm. Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You brought a group of girls with you.
Yes, I did.
So what are your thoughts? What is your intention? What is your goal with like bringing them up and mentoring younger girls?
Yeah, I have my mini dream team, as I like to call them.
Mini dream team.
Yeah. I teach a class to them every Wednesday for an hour. I do it. It's out of my budget. Like, they don't pay me anything. I do it out of love. And I like to have this connection with them, right? The same way my mom has this connection with the original Dream Team, which is me and like, right now it grew, so it's like 9 other girls. She's always there, like as a mentor, as a mom for all of us, as a professor, as a friend. And I want that same role, because I know I just started my career, but the career doesn't last long as a competitor, right? Like, titles come and go, but at the end of the day, when it's over, you know? Like, I won't be competing in my 40s as consistently as I am now, probably. You know, I don't know what's in the future, but I have to have a plan after that, because I think some people, they win and they don't have a future after that. They don't know what to do with their jiu-jitsu. And jiu-jitsu, there's so much potential to do things. You know, you can change people's lives. So that's my role. I'm starting to build them young, even though I am young as well. And I think that's what makes it better, is because I'm also young. I'm 19. They're all like 12. So we're not that far apart in the age gap. And I'm more like a friend to them than I am like a coach. And I think that's what changed. And bringing them here just showed like how much I wanted them to see my side of like me being a hero to other people. Because for them at Autos, we see superheroes all the time. You know, they're used to it. But for other people, it's like sometimes they've been dreaming of it, of just being able to take a picture or do a seminar or just roll, you know? So I wanted them to see that like their life is different, right? They should be grateful for everything they have, and how hard me and my parents have worked to get like on that platform, and I want them to value it, you know, that it's not every day that people get to see the superheroes that they see all the time, you know, and how hard I work for jiu-jitsu and for them. So it's a big lesson. Yeah.
I was very impressed. You know, you started out like, you know, I know it was a women's only thing, so I was just there just to hold the space of sport, you know. But you went out, you started like a few minutes before, shook everybody's hand, right, on your own. Nobody said anything, and you started right on time. Went right into it like a professional, like a true professional. 19 years old.
Thank you.
I was like, I just looked at my guys. I was like, there you go, you know.
Yeah.
How you do one thing is how you do everything.
Yeah. I learned a lot with my dad. Like when we would go on trips, usually it would be because he was competing or a seminar, sometimes both. So I've learned so much throughout these years, even when I didn't even think I needed it, you know. So I learned a lot. And my mom is like my best, like behind the scenes manager. She always helps me with like when I'm having a hard time as a professor, when I'm having a hard time teaching, when I'm having a hard time with anything. She's just like my mentor off the mat, and they've guided me in
like understanding
with everything. Like when I started teaching the women's program, which started almost like a year ago, basically, it was hard because I was so used to teaching kids that when you go with adults, it's different. It's a little different. And I was having a hard time managing different people because kids, they're like, especially when they're all the same age, they're all kind of the same. But in the women's class, I have people who are moms. I have people who work from 9 to 5. I have people who are there to just lose weight. I have people who don't want to be there at all, you know? So it's hard to manage all these people.
Some people don't want to be there at all, but they showed up anyway, right?
Yeah. So sometimes it's hard. It's mentally hard. And there are days where I trained from like 7 a.m. all the way to 1 p.m. and then I still have to go teach. So then, like, that's when I go to my mom. I'm like, hey, Mom, I'm having a hard time with this, and this. Like, what should I do? And sometimes I don't like hearing it, but I listen to what she says, you know, and it always turns out right, you know. Yeah. Mom's always right.
Listen, right? Listen to your mom.
Exactly.
Oh, my God. You hear that, teenagers? Oh, my God. All the teenagers, the parents, you know, like it's tough, right?
It is, yeah.
Especially like your mom and dad, like, you know, so that there's certain ages, right? Like 15, 16, 14, even.
Yeah.
So it's great. It's just great to see your story, unfolding, you know, as it's just begun.
Yeah.
What do you have coming up?
I have Who's Number One at the end of this month.
Okay.
Yeah. So actually I have like every weekend I'm going to be very busy, because I have like one thing after the other. I have more seminars. I have more super fights. I have more tournaments that I have to do. So I'm very busy, very busy. And
you had just gone to Italy, right? And you said my thing is, I compete or whatever, but the next day I'm back in the gym.
Exactly.
You're always ready.
Exactly.
To go.
Yeah, you can ask anyone at the gym, and I swear, like they all will say that I'm there all the time. I'm all the time, because the urge to win is greater than how tired I am. And even if I
hate
win,
to lose.
Oh, I hate to lose. No one likes to lose. You cannot say anyone likes to lose, right? But I despise it, right? And I don't encourage the type of people that they train, they win, and then they stop showing up at the gym. You know, just because they won, they stop. I think that's like that kind of like takes away the whole point, you know, of being a hard worker, you know. And even when I'm on vacation, I hate not training. My vacation is a max of like a week. And even within that week during vacation, I'm always like training somewhere, lifting. Yeah. Always.
Exercising, doing something.
So always doing something. I hate being behind, especially when I travel, because the girls at the gym are so good that week that I'm off doing nothing, they can be like getting better. So I never want to be behind. I have like fear of missing out. And so I'm always working. Yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted you. So you have seminars coming up?
Yeah.
Because I was asking what's happy. Who's number one? So what else is going on coming up?
I have a tournament coming up as well.
Another tournament?
Another tournament. And I have a Grand Prix announcement that's going to come out later that I can't talk about just yet.
Okay.
At the end of November.
Awesome.
Yeah, so keep a lookout. I'll be busy. Keeping you guys on your toes.
Kevin, anything?
You're great.
Yeah, I talk a lot. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, he said it. You're great. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah,
you're amazing.
You. I appreciate
Congratulations.
it. Thank you. Yeah, it was fun. Thank you for having the seminar. It was really cool seeing, 130 girls?
Yeah, sold out. And how fast was it in one day?
A day, I mean, you saw that
day and a half, yeah.
Really?
Good marketing.
Wow. You guys did a good job, though. The wigs got me so good. I was, just scrolling, and then out of nowhere, my mom's like, Sarah, did you see that they're, really trying to market off your seminar? And then when I looked, there's 3 guys and 3 colored wigs. That was good. I think it was fun. You guys did a good job, and I appreciate the work you guys did to make it happen. I hope I did somewhat of a good job with them.
Amazing job.
Yeah. Sometimes when I go to different places, it's hard because jiu-jitsu is different for everyone, right? So it's always hard to find that balance that everyone will understand. So I try to show a little bit of everything because sometimes my move will work better for me than certain people. So I try to show a bit of everything to see if everyone will get a little bit, just by someone being like, oh, that made sense, or oh, that's the detail that I needed. That makes my job complete.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you again.
Thank you so much.